What's up, Nick?
What's up, Bjorn? We have a guest today.
We do have a guest.
We have a special guest in from LA.
What up, guys?
You guys might know him from Colbert.
Yeah.
You might know him from teaching a bunch of people in Portland to do stand-up comedy.
That's true.
He's the reason that I'm doing stand-up comedy.
Kind of the reason we're friends, too.
Yeah, so this is actually his fault. Yeah, this is Alex Falcone.
Hey, guys. Thank you for having me in your creepy murder basement.
It's a really classy murder basement.
It is. It's really nice.
Definitely real brick.
The way in is scary. Down here, not so scary.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is bullshit. Look at you.
We put this
wallpaper.
Yeah,
Classy.
I did this masonry last week.
Yeah. Nick did it pretty much by himself.
I can imagine.
I just foremaned it.
It's mostly level. You should have a supreme brick in this somewhere.
We do have.
Oh, that would be cool.
That would be so easy.
We need
Like
one
sticking
for
out?
sure.
Just like a stick. Yeah.
We had some Supreme
Like a little-
Wheaties around here.
Yeah, they're somewhere.
That'd
I
be
don't know
ideal.
where they went. Anyway,
Yeah.
Alex, why are you in town?
I am in town because I just recorded my debut album last night. I did my first ever comedy album.
Ooh, congratulations.
Thank you.
What shoes did you wear for the album?
I
know
will-
that's an important part of an audio
Of course.
thing.
Yeah. I took some video of it too for some TikToks, so you'll see it
hell
out
yeah.
there. I wore the same thing that I wore on my Colbert taping, which are
First one or second one?
second one. So the first one I wore the Yeezys; those were my TVZs. And then the second time,
I was half expecting a soundbite from Terrence on that one.
I'm gonna ease into the sound bites over here.
so I still have my TVZs, but then I did the second time. I wore what is the colorway is called Signal Pink, and is a very adequate name for an Ultra Boost 19, and they are bright. They are extremely pink. And on Colbert, the floor it's called Marley or whatever, but it's like a very reflective black floor. So when you cut to that wide shot of me on Colbert, there's like a pink halo around my feet, several
nice.
feet wide. It's gorgeous. And the best comment I got on the YouTube video of Colbert was somebody who went, it was like mid shot, sneakers, mid shot. Because it comes out, because you don't see it at first, and then they are bright, and I like that a lot. So I wore those for the album as well. I wore my TV pinks.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. What would you do if you're doing TV tomorrow? What would you wear?
If I was doing TV tomorrow?
Yeah, what would you get?
You have to just pick from your selection of
From my
sneakers that you
current
already
sneakers,
have.
I think I'd wear these.
Yeah.
These are what I wore at the finals of PFP.
Nice.
I kind of like them because
they're a tie dye.
Yeah, they're the ray gun dunks, and so they're a flex-ish. They're like a shoe that sneakerheads get excited about.
Yeah.
And everyone else is just like, oh, those are kind of cool.
They're kind of good.
And I like that about them.
So this is the thing with the pinks is that the Ultra Boost 19 is not a hyped shoe.
Great shoe to hike in.
I
like
it's
mine for
hyped.
that.
It's not hyped. They're very good
It's
hiking shoes.
hiked.
They're super comfy. They're walking on pillows.
Oh, yeah.
But this is there's a shoe that sneakerheads will notice, but a bright pink sneaker normies will notice, and it's kind of fun to have normies be like, I love your pink shoes. So it's like, am I appealing only to insiders,
Right.
or do I want muggles to like it? And I went with the muggle shoe for the second time around.
Good enough.
That's one of my problems with a lot of colorways of Yeezys, is they're just like earth tones.
Good looking shoes. Yeah,
Like,
they're just normal, muted, nice shoes.
Yeah, they are nice shoes. They're very good looking, nice shoes,
Yeah.
aren't they, Alex?
They're oh, you're not a Yeezy fan?
not at all.
These were like my TVZs were just like, I can't remember the official colorway, but yeah, it's just a muted earth tone, like a hint of green, just like a vaguest hint of green in them.
Citron, right?
That's what it is. Thank you. Yes, the like a squeeze of lemon on them, and they're and they're 350s, just the normal 350s, and they're just a good-looking basic shoe. But then, since I bought that, Kanye said a lot of stupid crap, and it takes the fun away. And I was not there for Kanye. I was into the Yeezys for Stephen Smith. I was there for designers of those shoes, and the way the shoes look.
Yeah.
And then the guy whose name is on them just keeps saying the dumbest shit. And it's very upsetting.
He's genuinely out of his mind.
He is, and he's devaluing my shoes, and I hate it.
It's
by
almost
being
like,
stupid.
It's almost like if R. Kelly had a sneaker
It's
line.
not quite that bad.
Let's keep R. Kelly out of this.
Yeah, that would be.
Let's keep R. Kelly out of this.
Especially with my yellow colored shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's rough.
That would be great.
You do have a story about your TVZs though,
Yes. Well, and actually the pinks come into that too. They came up a similar thing. So my first time I was doing Colbert, I did it twice, but only one aired, as you both know, but the audience doesn't. The first time I did it was right before pandemic, and they taped it, but then weren't able to play it because then he had to move up to his attic, and so I had to wait a year and then retape. I bought my TVZs because my friend and person you probably know, Mohamed El-Sheki, great comic. He did Conan before I did my late night, and he had bought some Jordans.
He had the Concord 11s.
The Concord 11s. No, they weren't. Were they the
Yeah,
Concord
they were
11s?
the Concord 11s.
Yep.
I like the
black and
Concord
white
11s,
ones.
and his were stupid looking. Okay, maybe you're right. Maybe
He
you're
had-
right.
I've seen him in a lot of shoes, but I'm pretty sure he wore the
Could be.
Concords.
Yeah, the Concords are
on
nice.
TV.
So he had a nice looking pair of Jordans, and he had said when he got on the show, he talked to the director, and they're like, "Do you have anything you want out of the shot or whatever?" And he was like, "Well, I bought these shoes, spent a lot of money on these shoes." He just went down to Compound
Index.
Index. He went down to
I
Index.
think Shane was telling us.
Yeah.
Shane went with him, right?
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
went down to Index and grabbed his favorite thing that like the day before he did it. And so he wore these. And he was like, I really like these shoes. Can you just make sure there's a wide shot that includes my shoes? And they were like, heck yeah, we love it. And so then I saw the post, like the photo of him on Instagram afterwards. There were all these people in the comments complimenting his shoes, and this made me whatever the positive version of jealous. Like I want to do that also. Yeah, competitive. So I get my TVZs and I roll into Colbert, and we're doing the run through, and I'm talking to the director, and I was like, "Hey, my friend did TV. They did this thing with his shoes. I'm really into shoes. Can you do a wide shot and make sure you get my shoes?" And she said, "We don't do that here," which was very embarrassing. But then I found out. I go back to the green room because there's like 6 comics taping at a time. I go back into the green room, and it turns out my whole walkthrough with the director, they were broadcasting into the green rooms. So the other 5 comics watched that. So I walk into the green room hallway, and 5 comics and all their +1s are in the hallway, and they're like, "Oh, Shoe Princess is here. Are you going to get your shoes on TV, Shoe Princess?" I just got roasted for 20 minutes, and they weren't going to show my shoes. So then the update to the story, I go back. I'm wearing my pink shoes, and I'm standing in the hallway, and one of the like executive producers comes out, and he's like, "Oh, I love those. That's a great color of the 19s." And then this other person on the show is like, "Oh yeah, we're all big shoe people here. Like, where were you last year?" And I was like, so I told them the story about how they said I couldn't have that, and what the executive producer said. He was like, "Oh yeah, it's because you told a director how to direct. They hate that. It's not the shoes. She was just mad at me suggesting how to shoot my own show."
Oh.
So I'm like, don't tell me how to do my fucking job.
Exactly. So
asshole.
she would have said no matter what I said. If I was like, "Can you make sure my face is in it?" She would have been like, "Definitely not." And the whole thing would have been on my knees. It was just, I was overstepping my bounds. And so she put me in my place. But so this second time around, they were like, "Oh yeah, we're going to make sure we get a long shot. We love the shoes. We can't wait to see it." And then when I came off stage, the first thing the producer said was like, "We got a great shot of your shoes." So like everybody was into it the second time around. So the first time was very hurtful about shoes. But maybe they say they're shoe people because they were normies. They were fun pink shoes instead of being subtle Yeezys.
Fair enough. Were any of the other comics there again?
Oh yeah.
For
So
this
6
Shoe
of us
Redemption?
recorded the first time. 2 of them aired, and then 4 of us didn't before pandemic. So there were a couple people back and a couple of new people, and the people who came back did not care. It wasn't like they remembered roasting me.
Oh,
it meant nothing to it still eats me up inside.
It's just
it
a
meant
classic
nothing
comic
to them.
thing where in the moment they're like, "Go ahead, joke."
Yeah, and
And
later
then,
I'm like, that really hurt me, bro. And they're like, "I have no idea what you're talking about." No, so they were there and did not get to. They saw the redemption, but did not register that it was redemption.
Okay.
It's kind of like when someone flips you off in traffic and you just dwell on it
Right, yeah, this is
forever.
Yeah.
And you're just, every time you drive under that bridge, you think about that guy that
Yeah.
you accidentally cut off
Yep.
and he flipped you off.
Yeah,
and he probably never remembered it ever again. But I think about it every
this
time.
has changed a little bit since I've been in LA, because in LA, every time somebody honks at you or flips you off, they were wrong. I don't know how. 100% of the time someone's honked at me, they were wrong. It was like I was waiting for someone in a crosswalk, and they honked at me for not running them over. Like it's so I used to let that eat me up, and now I'm like, oh, that's just like they're just like patting me on the back for being safe. That's what that is. It's like a good work, buddy. Beep beep.
It is funny when you drive in like LA or like when I lived in Vegas and then I moved here. And I'm like not that aggressive of a person, but
Yeah.
I was the most aggressive person on the road,
For here,
which
yeah,
felt
yeah.
weird.
It
It's
does
like,
feel
oh,
weird,
I'm a
yeah.
bully? I
You
didn't
were
realize
driving
that.
correctly, and that made you into a bully here. Yeah.
You're like,
Everywhere
oh.
else it's normal. Yeah, imagine getting to a four-way stop and then you just start driving. It doesn't work here. Everyone's so confused.
I definitely got way more aggressive as a driver, like during the pandemic. I don't know.
Oh,
why.
interesting.
I felt like everybody got amped up a little bit, and I definitely was.
You and
among
every
those
other
people.
person in Portland.
I
Yeah.
think so
Yeah.
too.
It's been out of control up here.
Yeah, like car accidents, like because my new office is across town, so I have to take 84, and there is an accident every day, just every day. There's some reason that we're going 2 miles an hour.
It's just a perfect avenue for like passive aggressive people to let out some steam. I think.
Maybe.
Because they're all
Interesting.
alone in their car, they can just yell profanities and put the gas down a little harder.
I did see so I've been in LA for like a year and a half now, and it's mostly been during pandemic, so the traffic was less. But I did see a couple days ago someone behind me was honking at someone else behind me, and then I look in the rearview mirror, and he cuts them off and gets out of the car. And I have never, in the middle of traffic, I've never seen someone get out of a car to continue a fight. And then I had to get on the freeway, so I didn't see the end of it. But when I drove back, I was like, are there going to be blood stains on this highway? Like, I thought he looked like he was going to do murders. It was crazy. I've never seen that before.
Yeah,
that
I've
was
never
intense.
seen that.
That
except
stuck
on
with
YouTube.
me.
Yeah. I was once with a friend, a comedian. I don't know if he does comedy anymore, but is in Minneapolis, and he huge guy, like 8 foot something, like just a giant human. And he drove this really small car, and I remember something. It was hilarious. It was
Yeah,
like a clown car,
yeah,
total
yeah.
clown car, but like really tall guy. And I don't remember what happened, but somebody honked at him and flipped him off, and so he's like, watch this. He pulls over, gets out,
Unfolds himself out of the car.
yeah, unfolds himself, and just turns around and
Yeah.
looks at the guy. And the guy like looked like he was gonna cry and just peeled out,
Yeah.
leaving the scene.
It's not worth. Yeah, this is the thing about. It's not worth flipping people off. You're gonna get shot at some point.
All he had to do was
yeah.
just look
Yeah.
and give him a blank stare, and he was gone.
Dude, I think that's why he had such a small car, so that he
For the
looked
effect?
so giant in proportion to the
But
car.
the flip side of that is that if I saw a giant get out of a tiny car, I would laugh so hard that I would not be intimidated.
but
I'd be like,
also
I can't
like a
believe
great
you're in there.
big guy.
Your back must hurt.
Right, but like a great big guy next to like a great big truck.
Yeah.
The proportions, he's gonna just look like a regular sized
That's
guy
true.
until he gets closer.
That's true. It does
And
make
then-
him bigger.
Yeah.
Is it not just like anti-compensation? Like you see like the little guy with the lifted truck.
Very true.
And then he's just like, yeah, you know what? I'm running the world. So
He's trying to
Good
convince
enough.
people he has a reasonably sized penis.
try to
Yeah,
bring
yeah.
myself
They're
down
afraid
to
of
your
him.
level.
They don't
Yeah.
want to be hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did recently see a lifted truck in Idaho,
Sure.
and the plate was a custom plate that just said "It's average." I was like,
I
I-
like the modesty.
Instantly took a picture and sent it to Nick. I
Yeah,
was
no,
just like-
that's a great man right there.
You know what?
Great
I bet it's not. I bet it's huge.
I bet it's huge.
We don't
Humble.
need to talk about
Very
this guy's dick
humble.
this long.
I think it's fair. I think he deserves a shout out, honestly.
I got a question for you, Alex. I want to bring it back to the concept of like comedians. Like, there's been this whole like resurgence of them getting into shoes and
Yeah.
wearing them on stage. It's kind of like the little bit of peacocking you get to do up there.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of stuff in skateboarding, and in skateboarding, there's like this faux pas. If you do the same trick on the same place, the same feature, whatever, it like doesn't count. If like, let's say you had a special coming up, you're going to record something, you have the perfect pair of shoes, and then you see someone does like a late night set wearing those.
Oh, interesting.
Is that going to take those shoes out of the rotation for your big?
Well, you know, part of the fun for me is that if I get something cool, I get to buy myself a treat. You know, I can't afford to just buy sneakers all of the time. I'm not an engineer in real life. And so I have to like...
Or an underwear mogul.
Yeah, right. It's only when I deserve a treat. So like... For me, I would be buying something for the special, so it probably wouldn't be something that like I saw somebody in. If I was eyeballing it and then I saw someone else in it, I wouldn't do it for sure. I would not want to do the same
That was
thing
the
for
follow-up,
sure.
yeah.
But I think I would wait until I saw. But I would be like shopping for it later anyway, so I would at least get that opportunity. It wouldn't ruin it for me.
If you had a friend who's going to do like a late night set and they're like, yeah, I'm thinking about getting these shoes, would you step in and say, oh, you know, so-and-so actually wore those like on Conan, so like that's been done?
Yeah, I think I don't want to overstate slightly the knowledge I have of other people. I was wrong about Mo's shoes apparently.
You might not. Maybe I was wrong.
I think he got
What do you think he got?
I think they were uglier. I don't remember, but I think the Concord 11s are really nice, and I thought his were a bit loud, like a bit more clashy.
We'll make a clip of this. And you can send it to him.
You should.
Well, we
That's a
noticed.
good point. I love Mo. I'd take a bullet for that kid, but those shoes were not for me. Well, this is the thing we have to, at some point, we have to cross this bridge so that the rest of you, so you can just, everyone who's listening who likes shoes can just discount the rest of what I say. I'm just not a big Nike guy.
Yeah.
Just not into the check marks.
You know
man.
what?
There's a few things.
Where's my cheer?
I like stripes over checks, man. There's some Nikes that I like, but I think a lot of the Jordans. This is my worst sneaker opinion. A lot of Jordan 1s look like clown shoes. That big goofy toe on the ones look like clown shoes to me. There are a couple of them that are really nice. You know, the one recently, Ted Lasso is wearing gray and white ones with orange laces that I think look dope as hell. But a lot of them just look like, it just makes your toe look huge. I don't get it. So I'm just not big into most of the Jordans. I like a 3 and a 4 maybe, but I like in basic colors.
That's a legitimate opinion.
It's
not correct,
crazy,
but it's
especially from here where like we're in Nike town.
No, it's totally okay.
Yeah,
We're kind of in Adidas town too. I decided I was
We're
like,
in
he's an
sneaker
Adidas
town.
guy.
Yeah, I noticed you
I'm gonna
rocked it
wear
the whole way.
all my Adidas gear.
I love it.
Which
That's
is
so nice.
Well, I have another pair that we haven't talked about. We have this like small rule where we won't wear a pair that we haven't already talked about in a previous episode. So we did
You're
talk
waiting
about
to roll
these.
them out. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so you've got some Ubies there.
I have some on ice, but they're kind of like they're like, I don't know. They're like ZX somethings or 1000s or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is like one of my favorite of the Adidas silhouettes. I love these. I wanted to like those, but they
those
just hurt my feet.
Ultra Boost 4?
These are the Ultra Boost Uncaged.
Uncaged. Yeah. I have a pair of Uncaged. Yeah.
I like the Uncaged. These are the Oreo colorwear.
Yeah.
Colorwear.
Colorwear. The thing I like about the Uncaged is that was like them listening to people. Because the original, like the first Ubies came out and they were very popular, but they had those big plastic cages on it. And people on YouTube were like cutting off the cages because they liked the way it looked. And then Adidas rolled out Uncaged, and I could be wrong about the.
They're like the Sonic of of sneakers.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's like they were like, give the people what they're asking for.
That's
this
cool.
is what people are doing.
What a novel concept
Isn't
in
it cool?
shoes. Oh my goodness.
And they're better because the Uncaged, they basically, it's still got a cage. It's just on the
Yeah.
inside. There's like a reinforcement on the inside holding them around your foot.
Yeah.
So it's more like hidden caged. But anyway, I like that about them. And I got a pair of Uncaged when I won Portland's Funniest Person. That was my first pair of Ultra Boosts. Was my treat for that because they're so comfortable. They're just gray. They're wolf gray. They're not super exciting. Is wolf gray Nike? They're gray.
Yeah.
I can't remember what Adidas's gray is. But anyway,
Something like that. It's
There's
all
like
the same
Flyknit and whatever.
Prime
Knit.
Prime Knit. Yeah.
Like,
They're just like they're normal basic shoes, but they're so comfortable. And I bought them because I wanted to. This is my stupid thought. Was like I'm gonna buy these as my treat for winning this thing. So anytime I walk around and my feet feel real nice, I'll feel like a champion wherever I am.
Aw.
And it worked great. And those are my shoes when I want to like walk around and just feel like I did good one time.
yeah.
And I like it a lot. But they're not showy. They're comfortable. But you said the Nomads hurt your feet.
Yeah.
What about it? Which
I just
where
have
on
a
the
weird. I have a weird foot. Like I have one foot that's a size and a half bigger than the other one.
size and a half?
Yeah, and wider. So like you can kind of see it in these.
Yeah.
Like how this one's stretched out on the sides.
Yeah.
And this one's swimming because there's where my toe is.
Wow.
And then my toe and this one is at the end.
That's
So
1.5 is huge
yeah,
difference.
It's a bit of a problem. It's actually kind of why I'm into sneakers is because I was so aware. I got really picky and would be like, oh, okay, when sneakers have this feature, I don't like them.
Right.
and then I just became kind of a
this
sneaker snob.
This is a danger, though, is if you're if you're buying sneakers because of what is comfortable.
I know.
And you get into the sneakerhead community, it does not matter what's commovable. It's
I know.
not the cool thing to be like, no, these feel great.
Like I just bought my first pair of Jordan 6s.
Mm-hmm.
They're hockey skates. They feel like you're wearing hockey skates with no skate. It's like, you know what? What would a shoe look like if we, played basketball in hockey skates with no blades on
every
them?
once in a while, I'll see people at I'll go if I'm playing like pickup at the park. I'll see somebody balling in an early Jordan. I'm like, that's not what it's actually for, right? That's not. These are not good outdoor basketball shoes.
No, they
I like
are
the
not.
fit of the Jordan 1 a lot. I hate the the high though. I like the mid
You
or
and
the
me,
low.
Yeah.
Because the way it hits the back of my leg, it just hurts after a whole day.
Yeah.
I have one pair of highs, and I've worn them, I think, twice.
I like the way that Adidas feel better. I do. Obviously, the Ultra Boost feel nicer than the Nomads because it's like twice as much of the Boost. And I love a Boost. I mean, that's the other thing.
Yeah.
Is the Boost is like, I mean, it's the best material
Pretty
anyone's
cozy.
invented. Even
I
my
like Boost.
my the shoes I actually run in, even like everything I own is technically running shoes, but I would never run in them. But then my actual running shoes are
New Balance?
they're Saucony, but
Oh.
the material that's called Everrun on Saucony is just Ultra Boost. They buy it from the same company, but it's a different name and they present it differently. But it's this particular kind of plastic rubber combination bubbles. It's just the most comfortable thing that I've ever worn. And I like it a lot. And the Nomads are not as nice, but that's because they're half the price.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, we're talking about these now.
Yeah, these are
Yeah.
you asked me to bring in, and I think you meant
It's
just
fine.
have an idea to talk about, but I happen
No.
to have these on the road with me, and
Perfect.
These are, I was here for 5 days, so I brought 4 sneakers.
Of course.
Uh,
That's how my.
What's your 4?
Yeah,
sneaker
what's the
rotation?
4?
so we're in Portland, so I had to have waterproof.
'Kay.
So I have some they're Stan Smiths. Stan Smith winter boots that they made one year that are like tall, waterproof leather Stan Smiths that are really comfortable and great and good walking around. So those are my waterproof. I have Saucony to actually run in, and then I've got these are my everyday cool NMD Originals, and then I brought my pink stage shoes that never go outside. They've never smelled fresh air. They're indoor cats. They live in my bag until I get into the building, and then I change.
I love that.
Okay, real pavement princess there.
Yeah.
Yep. My thing with Boost is it just gets dirty and
Yep.
kind of looks gross. That's
So
my only thing. I wish
Totally.
that they were black or like a gray.
So when they do the black and the gray, they're really just painting over it.
Oh, okay.
It's like it's still this, and then it's got so my pinks are also pink Boost, but it's really just painted pink. So I have on several pairs of my older Nomads, I have bought the like white oil paint pen that sneaker people told me to get, and just paint it over the dirt on the Boost because you can't get it out. It is
No, you
impossible to
can't.
clean.
It's just
it's stupid, and I don't know how they made the least cleanable material in the world. But I have painted Boosts sometime that actually look pretty good.
That's a really good idea. I didn't.
But
even
yeah,
think
I
about
generally
that.
white Boosts I am less likely to wear outside.
Just like.
Yeah.
So as a Boost aficionado, I'm looking at these, and when you came in, I was like, oh man, those look really good. I didn't even equate them with Boost because they have those like covers on the side.
Yeah, the plugs.
My thing that I can't get over is that Boost, like straight up, like uncircumcised Boost looks like styrofoam to me.
Yeah, it looks like vacuum
like
styrofoam.
yeah. And this
Which
is the first
a
time
fascinating choice.
it was strange, and I saw it roll out, and I was like, I don't know. This I'm warming up to. Like, I would definitely be more interested in this. But my question to you is, does that ever come into play? Like, was there ever a point where you're like, yeah, the Boost is like not the most aesthetically appealing sole for a shoe?
So I think the styrofoamy look, it's almost because the thing that makes Boost comfortable and that changes the energy return, like the thing that the plastics engineers care about it, is that instead of melting it into one consistent piece of rubber, by keeping it in the ball form, which is the way, like all the rubber on your shoes comes in little pellets, and then they melt it down into one thick sheet. With these, they changed the way they did the melting process, so it didn't quite form one continuous piece. It has which gives it more energy return. Whatever. I'm not a plastics engineer. This is the thing that I've been led to believe. So this, to me, is sort of similar to the air pocket on Air Maxes. They were like, which is the thing that Tinker did. Was he was like, let's not hide the air pocket.
Yeah, they
this is
wanted
what we're
to,
doing.
showcase
Let me
the
show
tech.
you what I'm doing.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's what this is to me. That's what when I first saw it, I was like, oh, you're showing the engineering. It's almost like an elevator where you can see the gears and shit. I love it. Like, show me the workings. Show me what's happening that makes this work. So when I first saw the styrofoam, I was like, that looks like it does something. And then I figured out what it was doing later. But that's what that tells me.
Also, I feel like Boost is only on like the premium Adidas shoes.
Right. Yeah.
And so
the step down is bounce. And
yeah.
It's, yeah.
I'd like having the Boost shoes show that because it's like, yeah,
'Cause
I
it's
got
a flex.
the fucking good
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Because it's definitely a flex. And if your Boost is clean, because it's impossible to keep clean, that's a
yeah.
flex.
And if it's just dirty because you've been beating it up, then that's a flex too. 'Cause
Well, so
you're like,
the reason why this particular shoe is the shoe that I brought in, which I'm
Yeah.
depending on what you pulled up here. Yeah. Oh, so the one you pulled up is exactly mine, which is the Core Black 2021.
What size,
Which is the
though?
reissue. Oh, yeah, 13. Which is the reissue. So this was the first colorway of NMDs. And this was the shoe, whatever, 45 years ago now, that, like, got me to know what sneaker culture was about. Like, I didn't grow up
Okay.
caring about shoes.
Yeah.
This was like a turning point for me because this is just such a noticeably different silhouette than so many things I'd seen before. And it was like, at the time, an extremely hyped shoe. There was, I don't know if you remember this.
Yeah,
there
no,
was like
those
a
things were
year
like-
where they could just put out a white with blue NMD and it would sell for $1,000. Like everything that came out in the line was hyped, and it's completely gone now, which is fine. But this is a reissue that I could actually afford. So I missed it, and I always loved it. And I looked at that shoe longingly for years. And I got, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 colorways later where I was able to, like, get one at midnight by hanging out on Twitter. And I got my first Nomads. I don't know if anyone actually says, I've never actually heard anyone pronounce it. I say it.
I like
assume
it.
It's supposed to be Nomad.
I think that's just you. But
You don't think that's
fair
the
enough.
point? You think it's supposed to be the just an
I really have no idea.
What is? Yeah, we might have to have
Yeah,
Terrence
let's
Google
find that out.
What does
I-
NMD?
Oh, how you
stand for?
pronounce it,
Or
or what it stands
What
for?
does it
It is-
stand for?
I do think that it was meant to be Nomad originally, but I cannot swear to that.
Okay.
But this is like the whole story behind this is like this is part of Adidas's rebirth basically after they died and Nike had totally buried them, and then they hired away some of the best people at Nike to revitalize it, and one of the main things they said was go back through the archives and find some 80s sneakers and then re-engineer them to look more modern, and this was like one of their early releases. Like,
Okay.
this is part of Adidas's rebirth that came around the time I cared about shoes, and this sneaker got me excited about it. So
This is great. I'm reading this, and it says, "What does NMD stand for?" They don't actually tell you.
And
They're
it doesn't answer at
It's
all?
just like some marketing prick is like, it's about a legacy brand. And blah, 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 blah.
No, this is Alex. You're right. Whatever you want it to stand for.
this
it
is,
stands
but this
for.
isn't just like a bullshit blog post.
No, this is
Adidas.
on
This is their
Adidas.com.
official answer. What it stands for, this is not what it stands for as an acronym. This is what they stand.
Spiritually.
Oh,
Yes.
Spiritually.
It's a modern
Oh
lifestyle.
They're
Yeah.
built for the creator spirit.
Oh, I hate.
We
I
just
hate
we
this
just fell
so
victim
much.
to some marketing guy is rock hard right now and has no idea why. And he's like, there's 4 assholes in a basement somewhere that are like getting
Somebody
into the
just fell for
ethos.
We're puzzling over 3 letters.
What do they
Yeah.
stand for? Oh, equality and
my God.
like.
So these were like the originals of these are very expensive. I don't know if you can find these on StockX.
Yeah,
The
'cause it
original
seems like-
release. But the 2021s, like they're everywhere now. I got
Yeah.
these at the employee store for half price. But so this is more what they mean to me and what they represent than it is like the hype
Right.
of the shoe
That's
now.
completely
But I
fair.
do really what I really like about it is that it's white boost, black upper, black stripes, like very basic, and then the TPU plugs, the thing that make it a Nomad to people, are blue and red, and they stand out in an interesting way without being like wacky. My whole shoe is pink. I really like the design choices on this.
Yeah, no, and it's very much like the classic NMD.
Yeah.
If you're gonna have one, that's the one to have.
It's honestly one of my favorite Adidas silhouettes. I just hate that it hurts my feet.
Totally.
It just doesn't. I
I'm not
tried
saying it
on
doesn't hurt
so
my feet.
many.
I'm telling you, I like it.
We went to the Adidas store and I was like, I'm gonna get some NMDs, and I tried like a whole bunch of them on and was just like, I will never wear these.
Yeah.
And then Nick grabbed these for me and I was like, all right. And then I tried them on. I was like, okay, I'm
You
gonna
gotta
get
wear the
'em.
boost all the time. Yeah. What you need to find, I'm sure you've thought of this, but you have to put the word out on Twitter, and they will solve this for you at some point. There is a guy who has one foot that's 1.5 sizes bigger in the opposite pairing,
Right.
And you guys are gonna buy shoes together.
That is an amazing.
You're gonna have
idea.
a
Gonna
shoe
have a
buddy,
shoe buddy.
and you'll just order the 2 pair and then send half of them to him, and then he'll
Oh,
do the
that
same
would
back
be-
to you. That would be beautiful.
I definitely one time I bought sneakers where I asked to try on 2 sizes. And I switched them in the box.
no.
Yeah. Oh, you did. You actually snuck out with them.
You hooligan.
And
You
know what?
I
It
don't
was
think
a
I've ever-
pay less, and they were like
Okay,
Vans or
that's
whatever.
fine, yeah.
Like,
Payless
who
is fine.
cares?
But like, if you do that at the Adidas store, they like, and then
Oh, they
they'll
check
every time.
Yeah.
Because they don't want you to do it on accident. I assume. I don't
Right.
think they're worried about people like
Like,
you.
who are trying to do it.
I
on
always
purpose.
thought they were being thoughtful.
Yeah. No.
And
They're
helping
they're
me
worried.
out.
They
Pure
are
ruined
cracking
this
down
for
on
everybody.
me.
Yeah.
I would love to be a fly on the wall when they're like, "Excuse me, sir, these shoes are 1.5 sizes off," and you're like, "Oh no,
really?
Heaven forbid,
Are
my
they?
mistake."
How could such a thing happen to me?
They're like, "Sir, let's fix this for you." You're like, "No, it's okay.
You know what? It's too late. I'm committed.
Man,
Change my
I
mind.
hate to impose.
hate to impose.
I really like the look of the NMDs. They are not as comfortable as the Ubis, obviously, but I have, I think, 4 more NMDs.
Are they all like this style, or do you have any of the Pharrells?
I do not have any of the Pharrells. I have other Pharrells, but I don't have any of the Pharrell NMDs, which I like actually the design of those a lot, where the laces attached to the back of the TPU things.
Yeah.
So this is what's the interesting thing about grabbing onto Adidas at the NMD time is that they had a couple years where it was huge, and then it's like the second version of every shoe that they released that was good, no one cares about it at all. Just disappeared at all entirely, because these are R1s technically is what they're called, but the X1s not very good. The R2s I actually really like, but then they only come in ugly colors for some reason.
That might be what I have. I have a pair that's like almost all black, but the knit has like some teal color woven into it.
Oh, interesting.
I got them at the employee store.
Yeah. I love the employee store.
I used to wear them to the gym.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Here we are. Wow.
Were these the ones you were talking about before with the cut?
Are these? Why is this only $100? Something's wrong.
Well, because it's size 6.
Yeah, go to the...
Oh, okay. Yeah, your child sizes. Give me a 13.
$235.
Hey, that's not actually... I thought for sure
For
these were more.
originals?
I think the hype just isn't
they're just
there
gone.
anymore.
That's interesting.
And I think since they've reissued these...
But yeah, well, the reissue obviously kills it. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
And I mean, if they retail for $170, I feel like any shoe that's now 6 years
Yeah.
on ice, like, yeah, there's going to be a markup.
Yeah. Yeah, you should be. Yeah.
But they used to resell for like $1,000.
It was $1,000. Yeah. When these
like
were
when
first
they
out.
were really hyped.
So the I have just like blue and the like with white plugs, which is not very exciting, but it was like a couple releases in. It was really early, and that was the only time I've ever flipped. No, one of 2 times I've flipped shoes. And what it was I was up at midnight and I could not decide between blue and gray, and so I just bought both of them and then sold the other one, and I sold it. It sold for like double retail, so I got the other ones for free basically.
Nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Which was really sweet. The other time I did that was with Kill Shots. Kill Shots.
I don't.
The Nike
The
Kill Shots.
Nike,
So Kill Shots are really interesting for sneakers because Kill Shots are huge in the men's fashion community.
Okay,
and
yeah.
not in the sneakerhead community. They're basically a skateboard shoe that only was sold. So it was made by Nike, but it was only available at
Like outlets?
no. It's a clothing brand. Somebody is embarrassed that I can't remember. Anyway, but they were only available at this clothing store, and they would sell out immediately. But it was only to fashion dudes, not to sneaker dudes.
J. Crew?
J. Crew, yeah, thank you. It was with J.
Oh,
Crew.
okay.
It was a J. Crew Nike collab, basically. And they look a lot like other Nikes with some small differences.
Yeah.
But I love gum soles. Anyway, so these used to be very, very expensive, and I got them on some fluke J. Crew sale where I got them for less than retail, and I bought 2 pair and sold one for about retail. But then, like a week later, Nike was like, "Now we carry Kill Shot 2s in our store, and now they're half price all the time.
Yeah.
They're real cheap because they flooded the market." But for several years, this would be like the men's fashion community was 3/4 of the posts were, "I heard a rumor about new Kill Shots drop." Like that was all they cared about. It was crazy.
Huh. Okay.
But that's so there's only 2 times I've ever flipped sneakers, and both times it was kind of on accident.
I feel like that's how that works. It's like if you're trying to do it on purpose, sometimes it's more frustrating.
Well, yeah, unless you are 1,000 robots, it's not really a plausible solution. The Yeezys are the only ones I've bought on at resale price.
But didn't you get those for like under retail?
They were pretty close to retail.
It was right around when Kanye totally flooded the market with 100 colorways that looked exactly the same.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So it was around that time. How do you feel about it? Because you were a Yeezy, you had a bunch of good Yeezys. Has he taken the fun out of it for you?
Not really. He keeps dropping crazy stuff that's like hard to get.
Yeah.
And I don't know. The ones that I have, I still like.
You're not buying new ones though.
I bought some new ones.
You do? Do you have the? Did you get the
socks?
The alien claw?
No, I wanted those.
I like those a lot.
I'm gonna try to get a pair of those at some point.
I mean, it's not like that idiot is designing the shoes, right? No one believes. Just like Michael Jordan isn't designing shoes.
I think he has some ideas.
I
think he
has some
draws
input.
something on a napkin and sends it in.
But Steven Smith is the lead designer for Yeezy, and he is like sneaker royalty. He's been doing shoes forever. He like early Reeboks that we all like cared about his kids. Like he's done so many amazing he's the one doing all of this work.
Right.
And if the Yeezy brand was by Steven Smith, I'd be like, I would like these shoes because I think you're doing really interesting design work.
Yeah.
It's not because of musician. I think Kanye's more involved than Pharrell is in the Pharrells.
Yeah.
Kanye like actually has apprenticed in fashion worlds, but like I really like the work Steven Smith does, and I'm just so annoyed that the face of that company's a douche.
Here's a question on that. Yeah, so if I'm reading you correctly, if Yeezy were to just abandon the line, and if they were like, hey, we're still going to continue doing all this stuff, we're just not associating it with that dingbat, you'd be like, finally, thank God.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it would also probably tank the market on them, so I could afford them, and that would be awesome.
Totally.
Because I think a lot of people are in it for the name. But yeah, if you were like, we are now a design house,
right?
And we're called ZE or whatever, and Kanye's not around, I'd be like, hell yeah, I like the work that they're doing.
Is there anything else in the shoe industry at this point that kind of gives you that feeling where you're just like, whoa, they're like really thinking outside the lines, like, I really like these shoes, and they are not hyped, they're not coveted because they don't have a name like Yeezy associated with them?
Oh, that's such a great
what's
question.
like the sleeper? Like, man, I'm so fucking horny for this shit.
No, I wish. This is actually my problem is I've been trying to find the next thing I'm horny for after Yeezy, and it doesn't have a douchebag on it, and I can't.
I don't. Nick? Do you remember the pair of those? They were like orange and yellow. They almost look like Yeezys. They're an Adidas.
They were that Adidas basketball thing or something.
Yeah,
right?
look, just do Adidas basketball. No, I'm not even kidding.
Just Google Adidas.
I think that's what it was
orange.
called. Orange basketball. I'm pretty sure that it'll come
I do
up,
not
or
know
like
what you're talking
sun.
about. I'm interested in this.
It was a crazy ass looking shoe.
It was.
I do like some of the
remember the
Adidas
name of
basketball.
it.
So I have a couple pairs of the Dames. I've got a bunch of the Dames throughout the years.
Okay.
And that's like I think I would still like them if they were not associated with Damian Lillard, but I also like, he's our boy. He's the only Portland signature shoe. This is the one.
Try Sun. It might have been in the colorway.
He's got the fives I really like of the Dames, but the Dames they're bounce sole instead of boost.
Okay.
So they're not comfortable. But he did that he wanted them to be
the lower price.
He wanted to be $100 instead of $200, and I do appreciate that about it.
Now, what about James Harden's shoes? Are those?
That's an interesting one because he is
that
a douche. Yeah, so that's a
questionable.
tough one.
Speak on it, please, because I have thoughts, and it sounds like we're going to be aligned.
I think so. Yeah. I want to hear your thoughts probably more than mine. I'm not that deep into basketball, but Harden is a douche, and I do like his new shoes that look like SpongeBob.
The what are they called? The Super Net or. I'm gonna look them up. Yeah,
but his most recent, I have a couple. I've actually I've balled in the Hardens a little bit. I actually like the way his are built for my feet better than Dame's.
Do they have boost in those?
Yes,
okay.
His are boost. Although they hide the boost, so if you you can see like on some of the pictures he's pulling
up. The polka dots. That's fun.
Yes, so the polka dots I like, and the ones below it that look like a SpongeBob background. I enjoy those as well. I thought he did some really weird stuff on this.
They were very Rugrats for me.
Yeah, Rugrats. Yeah. They look like Nicktoons. And I enjoy that about it, and he sucks, and so I didn't buy him.
We're in the same boat. Like, I was looking for new court shoes, and the white ones that like fully look like a little kid arts and crafts thing. I was like, oh man, I'd love to pull up in those.
It'd be so fun in a game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so while we're talking about liking Yeezy designs, bring up those foam runners.
All right, and then I did find they're called the street ball, so we were close.
Okay, yeah.
So. Or not the foam runner, the knit runner.
The
knit
runner that we were talking about.
We talked about this last week, and I have different opinions.
The ones that look like they were
first.
just dipped.
Yeah.
I like it so much.
See, I want those now.
I'm so into this shoe.
I was kind of neutral on it when it dropped, and then these guys talked about how much they hated it, and I never wanted anything more.
But this is what is not happening, I feel like, at other sneaker, except for what's so interesting about Yeezys is that they are like from the sneaker world, sneaker designers, but from the fashion world sensibilities, there are interesting crossover where it's like, this is like Yeezys are doing stuff that's closer to like Balenciaga than they are to Nikes or other Adidas projects.
Yeah, they definitely have more of a high fashion type of feel to them.
And that's like honestly, if I was
like
gross rich, I would go into some of the Balenciagas. I would go into some of this where it's like, I mean, like you could feed a family of 5 for a year on this
Yeah.
shoe price. Like it's so embarrassing to buy shoes for that much money. I think there's a point where it's just like obscene.
Well, some of
They
those
look really good.
The one thing, the Balenciagas,
Mhm.
like the Triple S or the sock one.
I saw real
I like
quick.
the Triple S. Is I
Okay,
think the
the
one I'm thinking
big giant.
of. Yeah, the
obnoxious
chunky.
one.
Because I like a
The
chunky
one
shoe.
that looks like a transformer.
Yes,
but
I like
also
that.
like a
I
shoe.
like the chunky shoe.
Okay.
Okay.
I
So,
saw someone wearing the sock ones
I think
in
I've got a
white.
Nike for you. Ever heard of the Monarch?
Well, so this is the thing is that the Yeezy brand was like taking off, and it's one of Steven Smith's thing is
Yeah.
he's one of the dad shoe guys, and
Yeah.
so they
Oh.
did a lot of dad shoe work, and
You need
I'm
to
not
get
a
pair of
dad,
700s,
but I look
dude.
like a dad shoe guy. A 700?
Yeah, like the Wave Runner.
Oh yeah. No, that's the one.
or-
I like that. That looks
Or
like
one of the other colorways.
Yeah.
It's not as expensive.
the Wave Runner would be my favorite, but
Actually, the Wave Runner's gone down. It's like $400 now. It's
he just
stacked.
keeps running his mouth and making them more affordable.
Just-
Yeah.
But I like this. I like the 450s with the alien hands
Yeah.
coming up. I don't like.
Foam Runners, I'm not a fan of. But other than the Foam Runner,
See,
Foam Runners are
can't.
just-
I don't hate it like I should. I mean, I'd never buy this, but I don't hate it. Like from a design standpoint, I think it's really interesting. But the dips are so fascinating looking, where it looks like my shoe is
They
wearing
look
a sock.
cozy.
That's
Yeah.
so
they
cool.
Look real
That's funny.
cozy.
I think the whole issue with this is that profile shot of it, like this one, the marketing photo that came out. It's the worst product photo I've seen.
Yeah, what was up with that? Why is it so weird? I noticed that too.
It's terrible. It shows no definition of the shoe, and then once you see kind of that 3/4 top view. So those of you who are listening on podcasts, you're out of luck. But look up the Knit Runners,
it was the only photo of them that was around for a while. Was like clearly a bad Photoshop.
and then you saw the top down, and you're like, oh, there's a silhouette. Now I will say it's very curvaceous.
Yes.
It's a very sexy shoe. A lot of those foot fetish people are going wild.
yeah.
But yeah, once I saw that, it made more sense. So I'm not quite as off the res as I was before.
I like the Triple S, and I also like the sock one in the Balenciagas. That's just embarrassing as a person.
No, it's okay.
I saw someone the other day in the rain walking in those Balenciaga socks, white on white, and I was just like, "Oh,
come
buddy,
on.
what are you
Well,
doing?"
Money is not real to you.
Flex.
You're-
Ultimate
no.
flex.
Yeah, you're an heiress. Or
I'm gonna walk
something.
my dog in these.
That is someone who has too much.
I do
money.
like that original colorway, the one right below that, Terrence.
This one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
that
one.
tan
That's
Kind
the
of
one.
like primary color.
I'm not
It's-
mad at that colorway.
It's an aggressive shoe. That would be a big jump for sure.
I think you should do it.
But I would say if
I
I
think-
was like
Get
like,
get a
Just
used pair.
Save up $900.
No, the
These
used-
things, they don't change in
No,
price.
see what it
$100.
StockX. These, I swear, they're way less. Like,
Really?
Yeah,
They're
or
below
or,
retail?
They don't really go up that
or
much.
Goat. The other one is to look on Goat because they sell used or like
Right,
gently
yeah,
used.
yeah. I
And
do.
I've gotten a Goat clean pair, and they were fine. They looked brand new. They just didn't have a box.
I also make sure to check them in 13s. Okay, what's you? Are you both size 10? Is
Yeah.
that why this
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
this?
yeah,
Of course. So I'm.
That was the quickest.
It's all coming together. It's all coming
Well,
together.
but- so you're 10 and 8.5.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah, he's false flagging on that one
I
foot.
like. Well, we got one. Just like one toe
I
over the
assume
line.
8.5 is much more affordable than 10. How are 10s
Yes.
in terms of availability?
They're kind of.
They're like
I
one
feel
of
like
the
this-
most popular
are.
sizes,
Yeah.
so there's a lot of
I
them.
think the stock numbers are pretty high on them, so it sort of balances out any.
Yeah.
Because I've heard 13 and above. Like my
13
friend
is
is
rough.
14 or 15,
Right.
and he's like, "Yo, anytime he's a skateboarder, and he's like, anytime you see some skate shoes, just buy them and
Yeah.
ship them to me
Yep.
because I can never find them."
Yeah, 14, 15 in your life is hard. 13, I can find normal shoes, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
But like the employee store, almost nothing there is available in 13.
Oh,
Shit out of
And I
luck,
don't know.
yeah.
I don't know if it's the employee store in particular is where all the 13s go, but
Yeah,
that would be
that's-
that.
it really
that's a
depends
huge
though. Like
pain.
if you're buying aftermarket, sometimes having the popular size screws you because the demand is so.
So yeah,
high.
see, they're
Right,
only
right.
700
So it really
on
varies.
some of these,
okay.
but check Goat
7 is too much for me.
is the website.
while I look this up, would you bootleg?
Oh yeah,
Nah.
What are
Nah.
your feeling on
Fake
fakes?
Balenciagas.
What was this?
Fake
I'm sure this is
Balenciagas.
not a controversy with you guys. I'm sure everyone's on the same page about
Nope.
this. No,
I'm the outlier.
bootleg?
Yeah,
You
he's the
bootleg?
outlier.
I think for shoes that you're gonna beat the shit out of, like, and again, this is coming from a skate perspective.
Yeah.
You cannot get dunks. If you want to skate a dunk, you
Yep.
almost have to buy the bootlegs, and they skate the same. They feel great. But I'm always curious what people think about.
I mean, like, but like, I'm an artist. Like that's what I do for a living is make art. I don't know. I don't like the idea of it. I want to like. I keep mentioning designer. This one design, because it's the only one whose name I know. But like, I want to give the person who did this art the credit for this thing.
So if you click on the shoe, you can see what they cost used, and they'll be like a rock usually.
There they were.
Yeah.
Go back down.
Because
that's to the right.
This is the best part of listening is listening.
Yeah.
Not
To
only
us.
listening to somebody.
This is
who
what they
else-
tune in for. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen to us ordering someone to Google things.
Yeah. Google.
That's a special
It's
podcast.
a podcast classic.
Well, see, that's the way. It's an audio format, so
I
you
used
get the whole
620. It's not that big of a dip.
It's not that big of a dip.
They do
For-
not have 13s used.
No. Yeah.
Darn.
It's a tricky one, but that's like that could be a someday. But you asked about things that I thought were slept on. We're not sleeping on Balenciaga. They're doing
Yeah.
fine.
But they're a controversial shoe, and you like them, and a lot of people shit on them.
I do
Yes,
want.
that is
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
I
I
agree
do
with
want
that.
your thoughts on this because I did look it up on my phone. The Adidas Street Ball. So, Terrence, if you could bring that one up. The orange
please.
is my favorite colorway. I feel like you might like these, and I feel like everyone slept on them because they are. Yeah, they're those orange ones right there.
Oh,
Did you see those? They have a Wave Runner feel to them.
hard pass.
Really?
Hard pass.
Nick, what do you
okay.
think?
Huh.
Oh, I don't like them.
I don't like them. Yeah, there are
Apparently nobody
things I
does.
don't hate about
No,
this.
exactly.
but- What?
I said apparently nobody does. They're buying new for $84.
Terrence, could you move those to this TV?
I absolutely can.
Yeah.
Cool.
Wow, interesting.
Let the people see those.
We got some real tech going on.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
we
yeah,
do.
they're on that camera. Oh,
Yeah.
weird. Okay.
And then
Yeah.
we've got. Yeah.
This
So-
should be the same thing. So
Yeah,
that
we
they
talked
see
about
what
that before we
We had
started.
talked about that.
Anyway.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, so I think like I like parts of the ideas here, and this is what's interesting about the Yeezy design within Adidas is that Adidas releases a lot of like, here's our crappy version of a Yeezy. Like we'll take
Yeah.
a design idea from the Yeezy team and we'll ruin it and put it on a shoe for $100. And this feels like that. It feels like it's not just putting weird shapes that works. There's something about on the
It's
on
like the shapes from the 700 that kind of like the overall.
yeah,
The
but-
3 stripes behind a thing.
that I like.
These little round, like
Yeah.
it's all
There's
stuff from the
pieces there,
700
but
that
they don't
just
have the balance. There's something about the
they
this
just
is-
threw details from the 700 on
Yeah.
a cheap shoe. Yeah,
And the thing about the 700 is like it's not just random ovals. It's like there's something about it that works. And I bet he spent a lot of time moving tiny ovals around before he found the one that just kind of fit right.
Yeah.
I don't hate it, but I do like this kind of detailing around it with the plastic pieces kind of going up at interesting angles. But there's something about this that feels more like the cheap Adidas than like the Yeezy. It feels like a too far down market.
Adidas needs their Team Jordan. That's it.
I mean,
like
Their Team Jordan.
yeah, I mean, they did have that. They've hired several teams basically whole from within Nike and put them up in very fancy studios to design shoes. And I think the internal Adidas shoes, just so many of them are bad that it feels like the hit rate is lower than Nike for sure. But there are a couple of things that pop up that I like more. There's another thing that I have that I think led me to the Adidas like over at Nike is that I just love a second place company.
the underdog.
I'm always, but it's not. You can't. This is what is it?
That's
$100
the funny
billion?
part,
Like,
yeah,
it's barely
Adidas
an
is
underdog.
barely an underdog.
I
yeah.
know, but some of these
But
look
in, like,
better.
the
Okay,
sneakerhead
some of these
circle-
colorways are better than the orange one. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's fine. I like this one, and I don't know why. But then I didn't buy it just because like I have so many sneakers, and I'm like, you know what? I like them, but I probably wouldn't wear them
Right.
so that often. And I'm just really
So
trying to
I
not.
have I don't have enough square footage to buy shoes I'm not wearing.
Yeah.
I'm buying stuff that I wear, and frequently if I buy a new pair of sneakers, I have to figure out my least favorite and send them on their merry way.
cull the.
Just to keep it. Yeah, exactly. we have a small closet space, but I love a second place company, man. I'm always Warner Brothers over Disney, whatever it is. If it's two huge companies, Pepsi over Coke every time. Just whatever the just not quite as good company is, I root for them. I don't know. It's fun.
I like it.
What's a Jordan? Or not a Jordan. What's a Nike that you wish Adidas made?
Ooh.
Oh, so
And that can mean everything. Like it could be like Adidas styling, maybe something you want to see tweaked in the kind of like the Adidas.
super interesting. So I do like the Sean Wotherspoon's that he made for Nike better than the ones he made for Adidas.
Yeah, the 97s.
The 97
that are like
was
the
the-
corduroy.
yeah,
yeah,
I like the corduroy, and I love the yellow
Versus the one with
color
the
with-
threads just hanging off.
Yeah,
like
that
you
one
just
was-
clipped it.
I
I
didn't
like
like
it.
that
I'm
one.
okay with it, but because you know, like as a designer, Sean Weatherspoon's thing is like going to
Yeah.
markets in LA and buying weird fabrics. This is still crazy expensive. The yellow
Oh,
and
yeah.
pink and blue
Yeah.
one. That's a great looking shoe.
It's such a good looking shoe.
And I
though.
don't understand why he is out making ugly shoes for Adidas. Why did they not lock him down? He made this incredibly
Yeah.
popular, perfect shoe.
Yeah, if they just followed that with another one.
Yeah,
like
why
that,
didn't he? Yeah,
just-
and
oh my
a
god,
And
color
he- and
swap.
he posts.
sold more shoes.
He's posted other samples he worked on with them that are amazing, and I don't know why they didn't make them. But then his Adidas collabs have just been kind of meh.
Yeah.
I don't, and that is my biggest confusion. Is like clearly he's good at this, and they have stuff they can work on. Why doesn't it look this good? The strings are interesting. It fits his aesthetic. I see why he got there. It's not quite what I'm into.
Do you think it's because maybe I feel like Nike didn't give it, they were just like, all right, you can swap fabrics and colors.
Right.
That's
it. Yeah. I'm sure it is.
Keep
They're
the
way
shoe
more locked down.
exactly the same.
Absolutely.
Just all you can do is swap the fabrics and colors. And then
And the
Adidas is
sole.
just like, here's some crayons, dude. Do
Yeah.
whatever you want.
Yeah.
Adidas
Exactly.
did
Go
give
doodle
him
up on
more
the walls.
creativity.
I mean that's what Kanye says is why he's over there too. Is that
Yeah.
that Nike had really locked down design rules, and Adidas was like, "We are dying. Do whatever you want.
Right.
Here's $1 billion." So I like that.
Yeah, I think Adidas gave him more ownership too.
So
I
it's
think.
possible maybe though but with the Witherspoon ones, it's possible that the freedom is what killed him. Is
That's
that
what I was
Sean
gonna
needs
say.
Yeah.
to be locked down a little bit, or he goes nuts.
He's got to have an art director and like somebody like reining him in, be like, no, that's a whiff.
It's
like,
too much. Yeah. It's possible. I don't know. He could come up with something great later. In general, Adidas's collabs are worse, and I don't know if it's the way they manage them or the people they get. They have a couple things I like. Undefeated is a store in LA that I like, and they've done some good stuff with Adidas. They've also worked with Nike, which
Yeah.
I like. I like people.
I
who
love
are
their
polyamorous
collabs.
that way.
I love their collabs with Nike. I hate how expensive they are because they're like, they're colorways that I truly like. I do not care about that it's that,
Yeah.
the hype part of it. I just legitimately
I
like.
it. Yeah.
I wish I could get like the fours, those green and
Yep.
orange fours.
Yeah.
That would be my favorite pair of fours to wear. And they don't have that look of like a hyped sneaker to me. But and I wish they were cheaper. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
just bizarre.
Yeah. They're
Those
yeah. I mean, I almost like it. I want to
You
like
want to
it.
like it?
I think I want it more than I actually do, but it's hard to tell.
I tried
we're
to
back
like
to
it.
the-
I
the
definitely
Adidas
tried to
ones.
like it.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
it first showed up on like the Confirmed app, I was like, I should
those
Witherspoon. Maybe it'll be worth money.
Yeah.
I don't even know if these are going to be worth money. I don't think they are.
But if you hang out if you hang out on his Instagram, most of the things he does are ugly. Like he's like every post is like, I bought these 2,000 shirts, and he's just covered it. It's like he likes so much crap that that shoe feels like
he's
it
like
fits
an
his design
experimental
experiment,
dude, and he
his
just
personality.
Yeah.
Likes stuff.
Yeah.
Is this
fair.
like a broken clock right twice a day type thing?
I think you were right earlier where you were like, he needs someone to rein him in.
I think he
you need a
needs-
crazy person and a business person, and they make some good art together. And
Yeah.
Adidas just didn't rein him in quite enough.
Remind me the name of the designer, the guy with the fucking Pegasus shoes. Scott, Jeremy, something.
I don't know.
I don't know what you're saying. I'm sorry.
I'll figure it out.
Please do.
It's another Adidas thing where I'm like, what are you doing?
I do. I liked a lot of the off-whites. I thought that was another good pairing that Nike did that I wish Adidas was working on.
Yeah, Jeremy Scott.
Oh yeah, Jeremy Scott. Yeah. These are also too much for me, but I
Those are
like
interesting.
them. I like them in theory. I could see them on somebody else in a different context.
Yeah, like if you saw someone else wearing
Those
those,
black
you'd be
and
like, those are
green
dope.
ones,
Yeah.
I'd rock those.
The money ones?
I think
No.
These ones, the camo
Yeah,
ones.
the camo. Clearly, the camo ones.
Yeah.
Those are.
I think Adidas missed a big chance with to not let Lil Nas X put blood in their shoes. That would have been
they
great.
should've-
As soon as Nike sued him, Adidas should have been like,
Just
"You
scooped
can
him
put
up."
blood in anything. We'll do. It can be all blood. We'll sell your blood."
They're just so fucking thirsty for business. They're like,
right?
yeah.
They should be the home of people who are like
They should
unhappy
be-
designers at Nike. They should be
Exactly.
open to that kind of stuff.
Just open for business. Oh man,
I like him.
Terrence. Before we do the Pavement Princesses, I want to talk about those sneakers that you got today because that was so funny.
You've seen them, yeah. So the short version is I'm very fortunate to get free shoes a lot, and I I have a friend at Adidas who's like, oh, I got shoes. They've been in the trunk of their car for ages.
Nice.
They know me really well, so they kind of hit the mark. But I got a little excited because I knew we were going to be recording today. I was like, oh, I got some fresh blood for the show. So I'll pass these to you, and they're 2 different models.
I'm open to this. What is
I also,
happening?
so I guess the focus for this, the intent is, I'm curious to hear, like, this is a pretty subdued colorway. It seems like from the stuff you've been talking about, you like the more neutral Yeezys, things like that.
Well, this is what I'm at this point. This is what I was talking about before with the normies and stuff, is where I'm like, I like a lot of the muted tones. I like to, but I feel like I should be more aggressive, and I'm enjoying the like slightly more aggressive, but I'm not all the way there yet.
Yeah.
So I'm open to stuff.
I guess what I'll do is I'll pose the question of if someone from Adidas showed up and they're like, hey, Alex, guess what? I got 2 pairs of shoes for you, and this is what you got. Tell me what your response would be.
Well, first of all, these are size 9, so you're definitely fired from this podcast.
Right.
For your
All right.
tiny feet.
So
I can size up. They can't size down.
The first one is the Gazelle.
Okay.
These are like classic,
Yeah,
and they're from the
Gazelles, yeah.
skate line.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. So you got the Gazelle.
Yep. I've seen a shoe like this before.
Looks like a shoe.
Good looking shoe.
What's
yeah.
the what's the
Gazelles-
next model?
The
Bjorn?
next
Gazelles are
model, this model is called the Match Break Super. What do you think it like?
I
Just
assume
what
it's
is
a
that?
Tennis match break sounds like.
Oh, that does sound like a tennis.
Both
like
of
a
them-
tennis shoe.
My understanding is that the Gale was like a very similar to the Samba, like an indoor court shoe,
Yeah.
soccer shoe.
Yeah.
You can see like with the toe. I do think you're right. This was like a outdoor like tennis court racquetball thing. But well, go ahead. Let's do the reveal, Bjorn.
Also a good shoe. Boy, I like if this is so. What is happening here? If you're just listening, is there's 2 pictures, and my job is to find 7 differences between these pictures, and I'm not sure I can do it.
Yeah, these are
It's
the,
like
Texture around the
toe.
the toe is a slightly less texture. We got a white on this heel cup.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I like this. I like the gold logo
Gold.
over the no gold logo. But
Well,
yeah, this is
No, there's a gold. It says gold
Says
Gazelle,
Gazelle.
gold
and
Gazelle, but
gold
I like
heel
the
tab.
Audi logo in the gold thing. Yeah,
The heel tab on the Gazelle is also gold.
It's got the
I like
gold
that.
trifoil.
Yeah, with the trifoil thing.
Be kind of fun
Boy.
to wear one of each.
I'm gonna be honest. I opened them. I didn't know that they still made shoes like this. And when I say they, I mean the industry.
world?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
You
They
didn't
both
think
just look like Vans,
They're
but
just- yeah.
Adidas made them.
yeah.
yeah.
I like these ones better. Which ones are these? The ones that weren't the Gazelle. I like the
I'm there
super
with you.
Match.
Yeah.
The super
match.
Match
Yeah.
Break.
Match break
I
super.
like those better.
I mean, if you look at the soles, they're totally different.
Oh yeah.
But-
so if you were sneaking
like
into someone's house,
Diamonds, and then this is more of a classic,
yeah,
almost like a rip-off of
It's got
those
that
ones, the
little
Chucks
round
like
thing
you
there
wear.
like a Jordans have.
yeah.
Oh, you're talking about
Or
the
like my
Jack
SBs
Purcells.
here.
Yeah, the Jack Purcells.
Yeah, I like that these are,
Fascinating.
in theory, athletic shoes for
Yeah.
an athletic purpose.
I think
Skateboarding.
If you're athletic, then these could be athletic shoes. These
Well,
aren't going to increase your athleticism.
Right. I do like the classic Adidas models too. I don't wear a lot of those, and they're not nearly as comfortable as the new ones.
They
but I
definitely
like
look clean.
there's
Yeah.
some really clean, like just European soccer shoe, just some really great looks to that.
Since you're an Adidas guy, and I have the feelings about this, and I'm curious if we're very in line on this as well. Thumbs up, thumbs down, first thought, best thought, shell toe, yes or no?
Oh, interesting. I do not like it on me. I feel like I don't know if it's this with my boat shoe, my 13s. It looks too big.
Like
It's just it's a big amount.
it's kind of a clown shoe on
Here's
you.
what I want to know with you, because you're using these to skate. You are destroying these shoes. You're putting them through their paces. Something like a shell might be like more armor on your shoe. It might matter to you in a way different. I barely walk. If I had a power chair and I could just scoot around the world, I probably would.
Yeah.
So I'm not putting these through much work. So I don't know. Maybe that's something. But that's not my first choice. Probably.
I cannot stand shell toes.
I
think
hate them.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
I'm more cautious because I'm afraid of getting bullied. But it's not my thing.
I don't
Not
love
a
them
fan.
either because I feel like they have the same kind of profile as like an Air Force One, and I don't like.
I don't
either.
care for
I
that
fuck
one.
with Air Force Ones heavy though. Like I I've warmed up to them, and it's just like it's a
I
classic.
Don't
right?
like the way they look on me for the exact same reason. I feel like they're a little too tall and a little too narrow.
I like an Air Force One for a Portland winter shoe though.
Yep.
It's like it's got enough boot like, but then it's still a sneaker.
It's a daily driver.
Good
Like,
daily driver.
Yeah.
It seems like you said we're going to run about an hour. We're coming close to time. I just want to make sure I get this in. But a second ago, you said something about sizing up, and the thing that pisses me off the most about the sneaker world is the true to size, order one size up or down. Drives me fucking
Thank
crazy.
you.
If there's not a true to size. It's the size.
Yeah.
It's not we run large. You just wrote the wrong number on your shoe.
Yeah.
That's not my I don't
Speak
have
on
to
it.
know.
Speak on it, brother.
I was like, where they're like, you should always order one size down. Like, no, you should put one number up.
Yep.
There's a number. It should mean something. It drives me
Oh,
fucking crazy.
I hate it.
No, Yeezys are the worst for that too.
They just
They're all over the map.
What are they making? Look, and I know this is a 3D object that can't be in one number. So like 13 is like but at least they should have a reference 13 somewhere in the world. Like there's an ounce somewhere in a vault in Britain that's the official ounce, and we're all basing ounces on that 1 ounce. There's got to be a shoe, and then everyone's like, this
Like
is a 13,
standard.
Yeah.
or it's too big. Now it's a 14.
No,
but
and
I shouldn't have to go. That looks like it's called a 14, but it's actually a 13. That's not what
The
you're
worst
just
part
lying to
about
me.
that is the sizes are different in the UK, and then they're
Well, that's
also
true,
then
yeah,
different in the EU.
Yes. Well, Brexit ruined everything.
Yeah, but they were different before that.
Were they? Okay.
Well, it's the same as like pounds. They've been
Yeah.
having pounds over
Yeah.
there for a while.
It's like based on some random
Goofballs.
king, his
yeah,
foot.
Right,
exactly.
sure.
It's some goofy shit.
I
Somebody
don't care
in a
what it's
castle had a
based
different
on.
size shoe.
Just if it's based on a king's foot, awesome. Everyone else that is that size should be fit that king.
Right. No, but they're all over the map.
It's crazy.
And you're right. You're
And,
right
and
to
not
be
even
angry.
just brand to brand. It'd be within Adidas. They'll like this one is
'Cause
big
the
and this one is
Ultra Boost
small.
fits
What?
True to size for me, but the Yeezys don't fit true to size, and some of them do, but some of them
Oh.
don't.
You
That's
mean
the
to tell
problem.
me that everyone in this room doesn't have one of those archaic metal torture device things?
Where you can measure the side. And
Yeah,
a-
it's like phrenology, but for your foot and not
Is it a
racist.
Branagh
Oh,
sizing device?
We should get one.
Oh, we got an
I believe
expert.
so, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, look at you. That's a
Yeah.
good fact to know.
No, I needed that when I bought those fancy boots. Which, by the way,
Oh, yeah.
boot sizing is even more fucked than the rest of it.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, it's completely
What kind of
bizarre.
boots were you getting? Were you like cowboy boots? Or you
No,
getting
no,
rain
they're
boot?
like fashion boots.
Yeah, okay.
And they're like a European size, and then with boots you end up sizing down by like a lot because they break in and they get bigger.
Yeah, right. And
so-
when you buy them and they're too small, you can take it to someone who will just kind of push on
I
it
had
for
to
a
do
while.
that
Yeah,
because
that's crazy.
I went to a fancy store
Yeah.
in Seattle and got sized into fancy boots that were
Nice.
still too small for me.
Right.
But they stretched them for me.
It's a weird. I have
So
a pair
like
of
my actual size in this brand is like an 8 to an 8.5. I have the 7.5.
So I get for them
And my
there's
sneaker
something
size
difficult.
is 10. It's completely bizarre.
Okay. That is crazy.
Yeah.
I get that you have to say, like, look, this is going to change over time. We can't. It's going to start in an 8 and end in an 8.5. Deal accordingly.
Sure.
But you can't say this one's an 8 and this one's a 9 and they're the same size and that I have to
Right.
figure it out.
Exactly.
And when it's not like when it's in aftermarket, like you're hanging out on StockX and they say fit, size up or down. That's us figuring it out what was wrong. We're fixing it. But when Adidas's website says this runs small, you have that information and you still wrote the goddamn number wrong. This is so easy to print a different number on it.
Oh, I
I
completely
like
agree.
that we've all. Yeah, you're right. We've accepted them. We've given them this.
We've let them lie
ability
to our
be
faces.
mediocre.
Stockholm
Yeah.
syndrome. It is Stockholm syndrome. And correct me if I'm wrong. Like the European
Un-American.
sizing,
Is what that
StockX
is.
home syndrome.
Yeah.
aren't the European ones like in smaller increments, or could they be in smaller increments
Yeah,
if the
sort of.
if the company decided to
I
make
like
it
that.
like that?
They're
Yeah.
also bigger numbers.
Right, but that's what I mean. Is
It's
there's
like
more
a 42 equals a 10. I don't like that.
there's more range. So like,
That's like metric. I don't like that shit. It's un-American.
get on board, Nick.
No, fuck all
The future
that.
is
You're an
now.
engineer and you hate metrics.
Yeah,
I
right.
can't
Yeah,
believe
I
it.
am.
He's the guy the rocket blows up because he measured in inches.
Yeah,
all right?
right?
Like,
we crashed into Saturn
No,
or
because
some
some
shit
other
because of you.
idiot measured in centimeters.
yeah, the rest of the world.
Yeah, the
rest of the world.
The world.
No, on space fucking scoreboard. America, bro.
Well,
Yeah, NASA works in metric.
Yeah.
Do they?
Yes.
Yes.
Come on, bro. Come on, America.
Does
Yes.
Elon work in metric?
Yes,
He just went up there.
100%. He didn't
can't.
go.
He sent somebody.
Yeah, he sent
Yeah, it was
some-
a car.
he
Just a
sent
car.
Well,
Yeah,
that
he
car
shot a
too.
car
Just
up
send
into
his car
space.
up there,
He
put it
did.
on the
He
moon.
genuinely just fired a car off into
He
space.
did. Yeah.
That
They also
is-
just put 4 normies in space.
That's
But
the
they came back.
Yeah, they came
ultimate
back
way
then.
to flaunt your wealth. Just
It
like
is. It
shoot
was-
a luxury
it
car
was-
into
no,
the
it was
ether.
The original Tesla, the
Yeah.
Tesla
Roadster,
Roadster,
it was
like
nice.
his
Oh.
personal one, and he just like fired it off into space.
But with a dummy pretending it was driving. It was a cool
yeah,
picture.
I think there was like a meme involved.
Yeah.
Like I think there.
He knows about-
He probably wrote 69 on it.
I
Yeah.
will say, look, and I'm not a big. So I really like space.
Uh-huh.
Elon Musk is fucking up space the way Kanye is fucking up business brand. He's being a douche when his company does work. Like SpaceX is good because Glenn Shotwell, the president of SpaceX, is a goddamn genius. She's
Right.
the reason that company rules, not Elon. But the reason why they
I have
launched
heard
that.
they're a nightmare to work for.
I assume, yeah, sure. Although all the stuff this week is that Blue Origin is a nightmare to work for. Bezos' space company.
Yeah,
so like,
yeah.
Imagine being the second worst space company to work for.
So
Does
is
that mean that
Bezos
you root
your
for him?
favorite?
Yeah.
Is that your favorite?
Who are
What's
you
your what's
rooting
your
for in the new space
So
race
interesting.
here?
I'm a big SpaceX fan, but that is less about who's second place and
Yeah.
more about who has better YouTube coverage of their own work.
Yeah, whose Twitter
SpaceX
is
has
more
a-
memes?
No, not memes. Like SpaceX has live streams of every time they
Blow
fuck up a
something
test,
up?
and I love that. You're gonna do this thing. You're like, there's a 10% chance of survival. We're gonna film it. Everybody else does that in secret until they're good at it.
Right.
And he just lets you watch him blow up. But
it's like the hold my beer.
I will say the reason why he launched a car into space was because he was proving that rocket, and they had to put something on it, and it was a press thing, and it worked because we're still talking about it.
That's
We
right.
remember it,
Right.
Because he proved that the Falcon Heavy can hit these orbits that the Falcon rocket can't. So
yeah, with such a payload. Or
yeah,
whatever.
you have to put something in there.
Oh.
Usually you'd use a dummy payload, just put like some concrete blocks, and he was like, let's be marketing smart. Let's put something that people will want to talk about, and it worked.
Yeah.
And the guy chilling in the car in space looked pretty cool. It was weird, but he looked cool. And then he slowly froze to death, and that was the best part because he's just a dummy. He's a mannequin.
Yeah.
But it's so cold in space. There was a live view of him just getting covered in frost and then like slowly cracking and dying, and it was kind of rad.
Oh, that is pretty funny.
That's
I like that. Anyway, brief defense, not of Musk himself, but of the company and their good marketing.
No, it's I like a credit where it's due.
But
type
they
of thing.
definitely are using metric.
Boo that.
You're wrong about this one.
I
I
love the standard system.
I hate
I'll
it so
go down
much.
swinging on the standard
I
system.
like some parts of the standard system,
I
but
like
also
that you
know,
can easily visualize those things. I like that a foot is a
Is a f-
very
it's close
usable,
to a foot size. Yeah.
Right, it's a very usable amount of.
I
thing
think
to
we should measure more
'cause
thing in
metric,
hands because
in
it's
metric
just
you've
horses
got a
right now.
centimeter or you've got a meter, and I
Yeah.
like having something between
That's
those.
true. I think that's important. That's a good point.
That's really
a good
my
point.
whole.
I prefer
Oh.
Fahrenheit to Celsius. I think we're right about that. one.
Yes, Fahrenheit's more usable for like temperatures that people can live at.
Yeah, exactly. For a human Earth
and then
stuff.
Kelvin is useful for science. So
Yes.
Celsius is bullshit.
Yeah, Celsius is stupid.
Yeah, take
And-
that, Europe.
Yeah, I don't.
Fucking
Yeah, it's hard.
Celsius.
It's just like you were saying before with the European sizes. Is that Celsius? There's too few numbers, and so you
Yeah.
can't quite. It's like there's not as like the subtlety is
Yeah,
different.
because it's like 0 to 30.
it's too
is where
fast. Yeah,
humans
it's like
live.
humans live. What does that make sense?
Whereas
I want most of
Fahrenheit-
it to be where we live.
Yeah, it's like 0 to 120.
So this is the real answer: is that
Mm-hmm.
it's not about metric and it's not about standard. It's that we use them in both.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you go to a coffee shop, they're weighing their coffee in grams and selling you the beverage in ounces. That like we're always mashing them up. That's how we're doing. Whenever someone is like, "We'll never change the metric system," it's like, well, we use the metric system all the goddamn time. Buy drugs. Like we love metric for a lot of stuff. NASA does it. Coffee shops do it. But like, you buy a 2-liter Coke all the time. Like what's more American than a 2-liter Coke, which is in metric? But
Or
we also-
Pepsi for you.
for me, but a gallon of milk, right? Anyway, so we do both all the time, and it's fine. It turns out you can have in the same dairy, the fridge section, something in metric and something in imperial units, and we're fine with it.
Can I try to unify the room right now on this
Yep.
issue?
Yeah.
Can we just all agree that fractions for measurement of length
That's-
is fucking bullshit?
I hate that so much.
That's a good point.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm an amateur carpenter, and I'm like, okay, what's 11/16 in like
I agree.
an
Not
actual
great.
decimal?
That should be color coded. It should be a green one.
0.6875, I think.
Oh, the engineer. All right, come over to my house when I'm building the room.
All right.
I think it's 0.6875.
I'll believe you.
It's close to
We'll
that.
just believe you.
Okay.
It's not like the size of the shoe is like burned into it either. It's on a tag. Like once you make the shoe, just
could
measure
probably
it
switch.
and put the right tag on it. All they did is put the wrong tag. Anyway,
It's
I'm just
true.
It's okay.
fuming about this for weeks.
No, you're correct.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
we're letting them off the
Well,
hook
like
with
when
mediocrity, and
Terrence was
I
a
think
guest one
a good
episode,
point.
and he brought an old pair of Dunks like those. What size were those?
10 and a half, 11?
They were 10 and a half or 11,
that, yeah.
and they fit like a 9. Like I tried them on, and they were tight on my feet, and I was like,
you're exaggerating a little bit because I wear
were-
a 9 and they're big on me. I tried. I was
They
like,
were like-
can I run these?
well, because I feel like I used to wear an 11, and I have slowly just like moved down to a 10.
But I think the thing
That
that
could
he's
be
talking about is like
your feet.
We addressed this before, where I talked about when I bought Nike basketball shoes. I bought PG3s. Speaking of douches who have shoes, fuck Paul George. But I bought PG3s. I had to size up from the skate. I wear a 9 in skate. I had
Yeah.
to buy a 10 and a half in
Yeah.
basketball, and that was across the board. I tried the Freaks. I tried like pretty much everything they had at the employee store, and it was like putting my feet into vice clamps
Right.
in my true to size fit. But
Yeah. Yeah, well,
Goofy.
there's like this is true of like skates or like if you're buying rollerblades or ice skates or whatever, where they're like, oh, you have to buy 2 sizes down and make it tighter for you. Like,
Right.
no, just call it the
No.
9 then. That's
Just
a 9.
call it the
If
9.
this is the correct fit, it's a 9 then. Ugh.
Oh, all right.
And they do that in other things too. Like there's other clothes. If
Yeah.
you're buying clothes, they'll say like this shirt fits like
Oh, it's all over fashion,
awful.
not just shoes.
It's awful.
The fits are completely across.
Once
the
you
map.
get it back from the factory, measure it,
Yeah.
put the right sticker on it. That's
I
all
mean,
I'm asking.
some of it is like as somebody who has a company, and we've had some issues.
Oh yeah, this is up for you. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so frustrating because I will send them, these are the measurements that I want.
Right.
And then they will send me samples, and then they are slightly different than what, and you're just like, cool, well, I have 1,000 of these, and I have to sell them.
But can't you
So
label
I gotta
them
just-
properly then?
I mean, it's just about, being,
They show up to you with the sticker already on it.
yep,
Okay.
everything's all done. And so it is a frustrating thing that I deal with.
I would challenge all of
but-
us to speak to the women in our lives and ask them about sizing, because
Oh,
I'm
no
not sure if
kidding.
you're aware of like aspirational sizing, where it's
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm a size 2.
my God.
No, you're not. They're lying.
Vanity
I-
sizing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. My wife, her wedding dress was a 00 because wedding dresses are the most vanity
Right,
sized.
yeah.
So like, but also the fact that 0 exists, that's the
to
worst
the point
numbering
that they
system.
have to make
000.
Like
than 0.
But no, they shouldn't. It's
Zero
make it a
zero
net-
smallest.
because your body takes up space. If you exist in the physical world, you're not a 0.
So
that
you're
should be a
saying
starting
1 should be
one.
the
It's
smallest
the,
it
the
goes to.
smallest a doll dress should be 1, and then go
They
from
go
there.
from
Right.
there.
Perhaps
you need to
0 was
revamp
the
whole thing.
ultimate vanity sizing. They
Or
were
is it
like
your body
1,
is gone?
and some companies like, no, our
could do
customers wear a
smaller.
0.
So stupid.
This is this game.
Obviously, these problems are worse. Yeah, because dresses are 1 number, and that's your whole body.
Yeah.
It's a stupid way to measure stuff.
That actually is. Yeah, that's real
That's
dumb.
worse.
Well, if Kanye would have his way, we'd all be wearing those sacks that he came out with for his shows.
Burlap bags.
Burlap bags.
That's the future, right?
So
We're
I
all
just
gonna
go shop for potatoes 50 years ago, and we'd have our clothes.
I'm not quite into burlap sacks, but you know what I do like is the jumpers, the like 1-piece mechanic
Yep.
thing.
the romp him, I believe
They're-
they tried to make for a
Romp
while.
him.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried one on?
I have not.
They're hard to size
hard to
because
size,
think
yeah.
about
'Cause
it.
you're- yeah.
Like that great big, like the thing that Chappelle wore. In
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Chappelle's
So-
exactly what I was thinking because like
Yeah.
those are very popular with women. Not a lot of dudes wearing them. A few more in LA than in Portland.
Yeah.
But Chappelle wore one
Once
special.
Chappelle wore one, a
Yep.
bunch of people started wearing them.
Yep,
Right?
that helped.
Yeah.
But actually, which reminds me, you mentioned things that I want to steal from Nike. One other thing I want to say, I think my last thought about shoes today is Hustle Hearts. Have you ever seen the Hustle Hearts?
Yeah.
Not a great looking shoe.
No.
But the important thing is, as far as I know, the only comedian to have a signature shoe.
Oh.
Except for Burt Kreischer with the free water
Yeah.
Burt Kreischer
Flip
has
flop.
a signature
flip
shoe.
flop. I own them. They're fantastic.
We did an episode about them.
You did. Okay, so
We
those.
took our shirts off. I also took my pants
he did
off
the
and
thing
wore a
in a
Speedo the
Speedo.
entire
That's
episode.
funny.
It's a good one.
That's funny.
The
okay.
Dylan free waters. Yep.
Yep.
That's,
Who is Dylan?
It's just they're called.
It's a
the
surfer,
Dylan.
I think.
It's
I think they're named after
Oh,
a
are they?
surfer.
there. They are
The original,
Bert Kreischer
but yeah,
flip-flops.
there they are.
Okay, but wait, the company is Freewater?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've not heard of Freewater.
You
Okay,
have
but
now.
The
are we
heart.
calling this we're calling this a signature shoe? It's
Yeah.
a brand I've never heard of, and it's a sandal.
And it's a sandal,
It's
but
I
got
still
his
think Kevin
fucking
Hart-
face
I
on the
believe
bottom
that's
of
called
it.
an endorsement.
Yeah,
It's
that
an
feels like an
endorsement.
endorsement.
Oh,
I
okay.
feel like Hustle Hearts are the only comedian with
Yeah.
signature shoe, which is officially my one career goal.
Okay.
These
To
are the
have
ones
your
up-
own
I
shoe.
want a signature shoe. Yeah, they're not amazing. They're just they're decent looking. They're
But they
cross trainers.
are-
He does work out a lot. He likes a cross training look.
They are like an original design.
Yes,
They're
exactly.
not like
Yes, they're not
Kevin
a
Hart
rebranded.
endorsed a Jordan.
Exactly. It's
Okay.
not like that's the other crucial thing. There are other comedians I think who had that sort of a thing, or at least
Yeah.
actors. But a comedian who got an original silhouette
from Nike
and
too,
from
and
a
from
major
Nike.
brand. Yes,
yeah.
not from some sandal
They
brand.
do look like an Under Armour shoe to me.
They really do look like Under Armour.
They
That's
totally
so
do.
true.
Speaking of which, you want to talk about underdogs in Portland, Oregon? Their office is here as well.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
and
Yeah.
did they move here from
Yes.
Baltimore, or was this their second location?
I believe that they relocated because I knew a guy that was working for him. He came out here, and it's just like, man, you came to the wrong town. Like, let's get New Balance here. Cons is still over in Mass, but like,
yeah.
oof,
Yeah.
harsh. And those things, are we all on the same page? Under Armour shoes are like,
Not the best.
That's
They're
terrible.
not good at it yet.
just want to make sure.
They'll get there.
What I like about it is Under Armour was like, I just want to remind the world this is hard. Adidas and Nike make it look easy to put
Yeah.
out shoes that both look good and don't fall apart when you wear them. We want you to know it's fucking hard.
All right.
Yeah.
So we've got a segment
Yes.
at the end of our show
Oh, great.
where we talk a lot about trucks on this show. We,
Trucks.
we
Comes
like
up.
trucks. We're from Montana. It's
Oh,
like a
that
thing.
kind of trucks, not his kind
Yeah,
of
like
trucks.
like
Yeah.
pickup trucks.
Not like
Not
the truck.
skate
Wow, you
trucks.
got a little bit of insight on
Ooh.
it.
There
Yeah.
you go. Anyway, so there's a term in the truck community called a pavement princess.
Oh, okay.
That's what truck guys do to make fun of guys who put like 50 grand into a truck, lifting it up, and then never take it off of
We
pavement.
can't go off road. Okay, sure.
There's also a term in rap music that's been popular lately where they claim that they're going to blow someone's back out.
Okay.
It's like a sex thing.
Is it good or bad?
Sexual.
It's
We think good, but
Yeah.
it feels bad.
it doesn't seem like a nice thing to do.
I think it benefits the blower.
Not the backer.
blowy is in a tough
The
spot.
one who
Yeah.
owns the back is not enjoying it.
Yeah, she might not be having as good a time.
It would shock me if rappers were talking about doing something that the women in their lives didn't like. That doesn't make any sense
Yeah,
to me.
that would
so
be so off-brand for
I
hip-hop.
know.
Anyhow, so we want to know with these shoes, are these a pavement princess or are you going to blow the back out?
I don't think I've ever done a segment on a podcast that required more explanation
We
to
gotta
get to your
set it
name.
up. But you see, we got like jokes in
Yeah,
the
it was fun. We had a good
explanations.
time talking about it. But if I was a
We're
regular listener, I'd
clever.
be like, "Oh, here comes the
We learned
hour
a
where
lot
they
from your
explain these
class.
terms."
Yeah.
As in, like, is this a functional shoe?
Is it a shoe that you're gonna like wear out, or is it a shoe you bring out on special occasions?
Well, so I do. Because you used the term pavement princess when I was talking about my show shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, I would say, not an insult. Like my
No, that's just
pink
what they
Ubies would be great to wear around, but I like a shoe that's been very clean. Because
Mm-hmm.
the problem, as we all know, we picked a fashion thing that is the closest to the mud.
Yeah.
And it was so dumb.
Mm-hmm.
And so I always will keep a pair of Pavement Princess stuff for shows, for good shows.
Mm-hmm.
My wife was so wonderful. She bought me a backpack with a shoe pocket on the outside that I could use for shows, so I could bring my nice shoes when I go to a show and
yeah.
switch them out. And a lot of people make fun of me for that, as if women haven't been wearing a nice pair of shoes on stage and then a crappy pair of shoes walking around for decades. It's a normal thing to do. Anyway, so
No,
I
it's just
I love it.
comics trying to find something to be shitty
Right, they're
about.
just shitty about everything. That's
They're
true.
just jealous that you have cool shoes, that you own more than one pair.
That could
Yeah.
could very well be true. Nomads generally I will wear outside. I have no
Okay.
problem with it. These mean a little bit more to my heart, so they might be a little more. So these are between the two for me, which is that I am wearing, like I wore them here. Like
Yeah.
I walked to the truck, to your
Absolutely.
truck for the ride over here. I'm wearing them out. These are my between. They're not. I don't wear them. I wear. Like when I'm on the road, I have crappier shoes when I'm just going for a walk and hanging out at a coffee shop, And then I have these when I'm like, I'm going to be around. I'm doing a bar show, but I'm not bringing a separate pair of shoes to the show. So this is between. So this back will be gently worn out, but not blown out.
Okay.
That's what I mean.
Affectionately.
This is a long-term relationship. I am going to affectionately and over a long period of time blow the back out of
You're a
this.
considerate blower.
Yes. Look, this is what I always say. In a healthy relationship, her back should mostly be in.
Yeah.
That's fair.
She needs it for stuff.
Take
like
notes.
Lifting.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. So is there anything that you want to plug?
Before we get out of here.
Is there anything that I want to plug? Yeah, let's just do Uber. I'm on a podcast. I also have a podcast of my own. I have a podcast called Read It and Weep, which is about movies. Bjorn's done an episode?
I have done an episode.
What did we talk about in your episode?
Bowling.
Oh, bowling. We
We
talked about bowling.
talked about bowling.
It's mostly about movies, but a couple years ago we did a summer where we tried activities and talked about the activities instead of movies because we were getting out in the world. We did a bowling episode. It's great. I remember that. Yeah, it's Read and Weep. It's been on. We've been doing it for like 12 years now. So we're like
dang.
in the high 600 episodes. It's this really stupid long project. Should have quit years ago, but very fun, and I like it a lot. And we are currently for October. We can never decide whether October should be spooky month or if it should be movies featuring Dwayne "The Rocktober" Johnson. Very hard. So this year, well, it goes back and forth. I don't like spooky. My friends like spooky a lot. So this year, for the month of October, which we are currently in, we are doing the Rocky Horror Podcast Show. So we're doing a rock movie and then a horror movie and then a rock movie and then a horror movie.
Oh,
Rocky
fun.
Horror
Like
Podcast
it.
month.
Very
So
nice.
that is our October on Read It and Weep.
Awesome.
All right.
You want to take us out?
Sure. If you guys enjoyed this, hit that like button. Subscribe wherever you're listening. We got new episodes every single Wednesday. Follow us on Instagram at Size10 Podcast to learn about that. Thank you so much for listening. Have a good night.